I literally woke up to an $11,000 day. I woke up to $11,000 at like 9 a.m. I've been hammered by the 9 to 5 work life. I used to work in investment banking. Yeah, so the product that I made all my money, or most of my money with, is multiple six figures came from my Instagram account. And things just magically worked out.
And I think you accidentally just dropped a huge gem right there, which is, what is up guys, this is the case study you all been waiting for, 2 six-figure demons, and this is the case study featuring Alex, who's done like multi six figures with only one product. Today we'll literally talk about the whole 9 yards. How did he find his product? Alex is going to introduce himself in full depth because both of us, actually, spoiler alert, we've been fucked by the matrix, super broke, just yeah. You'll hear all about it in this case study. Then we'll also talk about content, how we came up with a video content style that actually made multi millions of views. And without further ado, I'm actually say welcome to the stage, Alex. It's your time to shine. Please introduce yourself to all of the new viewers.
Thanks for the awesome intro, Nico. I appreciate that. Some of you guys may know me, some of you guys may not. My name is Alex. I'm 28 years old, Swedish Korean, so different background than most people, I feel like. Definitely a little bit older as well. I feel like a grandpa in this industry. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so as Nico mentioned, I have been absolutely hammered by the matrix. I've been hammered by the 9 to 5 work life. I used to work in investment banking, right? So I did the whole 5 years of university after high school and everything. Went straight into investment banking. I thought I was gonna be this cool Jordan Belfort guy like Wolf of Wall Street. Started my job on the first day, absolutely hated it. Was treated like a complete slave. Was making good money for sure, but just I knew that I was going to be so depressed and like absolutely soul crushed if I stayed here for a long time. Ended up staying there for 3 years, absolutely hated my life, and switched to a more chill job so I can have more time to try dropshipping and just online business, which is now, what brought me here to Dubai.
Yeah.
So
I think this introduction part is also really helpful, not only to, like, especially for people who are now just starting out with dropshipping in and of itself, or e-commerce besides their normal 9 to 5, because when I started out with dropshipping and I saw people just posting like random results of making like 1K days, it was always like, nah, this gotta be fake. So when people see that we actually started at the bottom ourselves with a normal 9 to 5 job, like, don't see the end results. We've actually been in the trenches ourselves. Like, for example, Alex was working at his corporate 9 to 5 job, hated it. We both just had the guts to at some point say, okay, now is enough. Let's actually start focusing on our own money. And I also, now talking about 1K days, I know you have a very, very crazy day. So how much money did you actually make on your record day?
yeah, good question. So my record day was actually $21,000 in a single day.
Bro.
And the crazy part is, just imagine this, bro. Like, during this day, I literally woke up to an $11,000 day. I woke up to $11,000 at like 9 a.m. on my dashboard. I saw that and I was like, bro, I think I've broken out of the matrix, bro. I think this is like serious money,
That's crazy. Can you actually show us do you know the specific date in Shopify, so we can show the people that we're not just gaslighting and you actually made this much money in a day? It's so crazy. Like, some people don't even make this money in a year, and you just made it in a day, bro.
Yeah, I sure did. Okay, so when you look at my Shopify dashboard from that time, the time zone will be a little bit different because the new owner of the store switched it to a US time zone, but this was the day. So on this like different time zone, for some reason it's 14K, but on my original time zone in Sweden, it was 21K.
Ridiculous.
So yeah. So let me actually show you the whole week. So the 2nd to the 9th of May.
Damn.
Yeah, so that was like a 49K. Let me just refresh so you guys know it's real. Yeah, so that was a 49K week with like 55% profit margins, more or less.
Ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So, okay, walk me through. We haven't talked about the product yet, so let's introduce the product. What product are we actually talking about? Let's leak it.
Yeah, so the product that I made all my money, or most of my money with, is this one right here, this gaming console. I'm sure you guys have seen it quite a lot. It was a super saturated product. You probably saw it in all of your burners if you were doing dropshipping a year ago. So it was mainly from this one, also a little bit from this one, like a bigger version of the game console. So yeah, great product, very high ticket. I think my highest order from a single customer was like $900, with an AOV of like around 150 usually per order. So yeah, pretty juicy stuff.
That's crazy. Yeah. So AOV means that on average, every single customer that checks out on your website is having an order with round about $150, which is just crazy. Like imagine you have profit margins of 50%. That's just $75 pure profit. That's like more than enough to go out eat 3 times per day. Ridiculous. So how did you find this product? Was it just a normal 9 to 5 organic drop shipping, TikTok burner scrolling?
Oh, 100%. So yeah, so I was just scrolling on my burner for a while in the beginning, just trying to find a good product. And I saw this so many times. I was like, wow, this is actually one of the first products that shows up whenever you search for TikTok made me buy it. I think one competitor has like 30 million views on TikTok. So it was like literally the first one that pops up. So I saw it and I was like, wow, that's actually a super cool product. And I'm a big gamer, so I feel like I know how to market it and just make a lot of money with it. But I did think it was a bit too saturated, so I actually waited before ordering it. And then one of my old mentors back in the day said, "Listen, dude, just fucking order it. Just do it."
Yeah. Would you actually run this product again if you would now see it on your burner account, or would you say, nah, it's not worth it?
I think at this point it's a little bit too saturated. I mean, all the marketing angles for this product have been ran through by me mainly. So I kind of saturated the product. So I would not run it right now.
Yeah. I mean, one big advantage that you have that most people just neglect is they go on their burner account. And guys, first of all, my winning product was also found on the burner account. There's no magic spell or something like that where winning product just spawns in front of your face. You kind of just find it while you're doing your product research in the trenches. So if you put the work into the product research, you'll also find it. If you don't do proper product research, you won't find a winning product. And one thing you then have to consciously think about is this a product that I can run to my advantage? Like Alex just said, he's a huge gamer. He loves to run this product, which if you're, for example, a girl who has no idea about games or something like that, you couldn't even come up with all of the controversies that Alex is basically implementing in his video concepts that allowed him to make millions and millions of views. So always, when you want to run a product, don't just be like, oh yeah, this is a cool product, but I have no idea about the niche. If you live in the niche and you understand the niche, this makes running the product so much easier, which also allowed Alex in a saturated market with a saturated product to just make millions and millions of views and hundreds of thousands of dollars, which is crazy. But how would you actually explain the difference to some people who are watching this? And because you started out with a saturated product already, so please explain the difference between product saturation and marketing angle saturation.
Yeah, so a lot of people have this common misconception and they see that one product has gotten so many millions of views on TikTok and they automatically just think, okay, I can't run it. It's been seen too many times. But one thing they have to consider is that this marketing angle has been seen so many times. But if there are other marketing angles where people haven't made videos for that product, then those angles are not saturated at all, right? You can just make a video with those angles and some more angles and just make the product feel very new just because the audience hasn't seen a video like this before. So that's kind of how I describe product saturation versus market saturation. Of course, there are some products out there. I mean, if you were to, make a video for this thing, I'm sure you guys know what this is, right? A Zyn, it's a nicotine pouch. There are probably like one or two marketing angles, right? Like I can't really think of much more. Like if those videos with those marketing angles have been done a lot, then yeah, the product is saturated. There aren't any more marketing angles. But in the case of this product, there were so many marketing angles that I could bring. I could do way more organic style, like playing it on a car, playing on an airplane, just like talking about the product in a very different kind of way from the competitors. So yeah.
Interesting. How would you describe, like with organic dropshipping, the better your funnel is, the more money you'll make at the end of the day. So all of it starts with the content on a specific platform, and the end goal is kind of just have the highest average order value in your store. So let's start off with the social media platform. Which at the top of the funnel, on which social media platform did you kind of got the most people in the next step, which would then be linking them to your website? Was it TikTok? Was it Facebook?
Yeah, so in the beginning, it was actually mainly YouTube. I was making most of my money through YouTube. I think my first 10K in sales with this product was from YouTube. Basically nothing from TikTok, basically nothing from Instagram, nothing from Facebook. And then eventually everything switched to like 100% of the sales were coming from Instagram once I finally went viral on Instagram. So yeah, like ever since early May last year, basically, multiple six figures came from my Instagram account in sales. Mm-hmm.
Would you say that was a specific Instagram strategy that you already back then, maybe not consciously, maybe just subconsciously, and you were like, okay, this video did well, let me just repost the same exact video? Or was it just like, you obviously learned everything yourself just by doing it. So what were some learnings just for the Instagram account that you kind of just learned from yourself? Okay, this is working, let me double down on this.
Yeah, so one thing I learned in the beginning about Instagram is that Instagram really values audience engagement. Like they value a lot of comments, they value a lot of like whenever your audience is commenting on your video a lot, or they're sharing the video to their friends a lot, they're gonna push that video a lot more because that's just kind of what Instagram likes. I'm sure you guys have seen like all these, racist memes or whatever on Instagram that just get so viral because people are just sharing the crap out of it to their friends, right? So Instagram loves shares, comments. They love engagement. So I just try to find a video concept where I can just get as many of those as possible, as many shares, as comments as possible. So that was kind of the first thing. And then after a while, like when I had a bigger Instagram account, I learned the power of reposting your videos. Like you can just repost your videos over and over again. You can also recreate your videos, make them very similar, slightly different, maybe different audio, maybe different text caption, for example, and just go viral again, over and over again.
Yeah, let's actually talking about Instagram. Let's look at your most viral Instagram video and maybe walk us through why would you think this video was going so viral.
Dad wanted to show me his latest purchase. It actually has every game. He's literally gaming while flying. If you can name a game it don't have, we'll gift you one for free.
Yeah, so this is my most viral Instagram video by far. If you can see here in the main profile view, it got around 15 million views down here. You can see 15 million views with lots of comments, lots of likes, obviously. And I think honestly, the main reason why it went so viral is that this video feels like it's a very easy video to watch. It's filmed from the perspective of a son filming his dad opening a box on an airplane. Oh, my dad got a new present. Like it's a very easy video to watch. It's not like annoying. It's not like in your face. It just kind of sparks curiosity. It gets the audience to think, oh wow, wait, what's this thing he's unpacking on the airplane? So that was kind of the first thing. Like it was a very natural feeling video. And then also at the end of the video, I said, oh, if you can name a game it doesn't have, we'll gift you one for free. Which got a lot of comments. Like a lot of people were actually believed me when I said that they would get one for free for some reason. So yeah, I mean, you can see like almost 20K comments from this video, which is insane. So yeah, all those things combined is what made this a viral video.
Crazy. So now thinking about this video in particular, obviously this was going viral for you. Would this, for example, be one of those videos you would just repost?
Yeah, for sure. I can actually show you my main profile view again, and just show you how many times I did that concept or reposted that video. So you can see a little bit further up, I did a similar concept right here, except my boss wanted to show me his latest purchase. So let me go ahead and show that as well.
My boss wanted to show me his latest purchase. It actually has every game. He's literally gaming while working. If you can name a game it don't have, we'll gift you one for free.
Yeah, so same concept. I did that over and over again with different scenarios, and those got a lot of views as well too, brought in a lot of sales. Let me just show you some other videos. Yeah, here exact repost of that viral video. It got 330K views. I did that a few more times in the future, and those did pretty well too. Pretty much every single time I reposted that video, the month after that went viral, that video got at least 200K views and a lot of sales, obviously.
How frequent would you repost like your exact viral video?
Yeah, in the beginning, I was probably reposting it once every week and a half. So every 10 days or so, I would repost it. So kind of like 3 times per month in the beginning. The same month that it went viral, yeah.
I see. Okay. Now, one question that probably when people look at this is like, yeah, okay, cool, you're going viral, but obviously we want to make money. So what's like the next funnel after people saw your video? Is there like specific things or trigger mechanisms that you kind of just do in order to get more people onto the website where they can buy? Like, I don't know, you reply to comments or?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing I did, I mean, obviously I got a lot of comments of people asking where to buy it. So I would make videos where I would just reply to those comments with a video, telling people, oh, hey, if you want to get this awesome gaming console that has 30,000 games, you can just tap the link in my bio and get yours. So I filmed a few of those videos. I think I filmed like 5 of those videos for this like 15 million view video, which obviously brought in a lot of sales. Like I think most of the sales from that video came from those reply videos for sure. One thing I did as well too, I pinned comments that I wrote myself, just telling people that they can buy from the link in my bio. Yeah, so you can't see it on my computer, but on the phone, I have a big comment pinned at the top saying, if you want your gaming console with free shipping, you get yours in my bio.
I see.
So I would say those are the main things I did. Yeah.
Okay, so you just said that although you knew that it was a saturated product, you still had the guts to be like, okay, let me do it, let me run it up. So what was like, although everything was super saturated, what was like your unique workaround to just come up with video concepts that still go viral and still convert?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think the main thing is just, or the first thing is just being really skilled at finding all of the accounts running your product. You have to be able to quickly find your competitors, right? You just have to know how to type the right search words on TikTok, Instagram to find the competitors. And you kind of have to have a bird's eye view on the kind of content they're all doing. And then just kind of figure out, okay, everyone's doing this content. Everybody was going viral in the past with this content, but not anymore. So it's maybe this angle is saturated. Maybe you have to find some new content ideas. And if you're really good at that bird's eye view perspective of just looking at all your competitors, eventually you're gonna find some random ideas, some random new concepts that they've tried, but were just executed really poorly, right? So that was kind of my strategy. I looked at all my competitors' videos, I studied them religiously, and eventually I found some concepts that I thought were really good, really great video ideas that nobody was really executing well enough. So I can actually show you an example of what that looks like. So let me go ahead and do that.
Yeah, while you pull that off, I would also underline this point, because I watched one Mr. Beast podcast, I don't know, maybe half a year ago, and he also always said, if you have a video idea that you think is good and you believe in it, but the execution is trash, don't just screw the video idea. Stick with the video idea and just make it better, because there's so many good video ideas, but the execution is just so bad. So whenever you are the person who has the edge to execute this video idea just in a better way, that can already give you a big competitive edge in order to go viral and then make the money.
For sure. So let me actually show you the kind of content that all my competitors were doing initially, and then I'll show you what exactly I did differently. So pretty much every single competitor was doing a video like this.
Does it have need for speed? No! You finally got us! We looked through every single one of the 20,000 games and couldn't find it. Come on, please, guys! You have to do better than that. Try another game.
Right, so literally every single competitor was focusing on this style, and also every single one of those competitors was going viral and making a lot of money initially. But the views just died down for the style completely. So eventually I did find some other concepts that I thought were very original, but once again, just executed extremely bad. So let me go ahead and show you an example of what that looks like. Right, so you can see extremely boring video, really cool idea. He's playing on an airplane. That's super high effort. The visual hook is him staring at this crazy view out of an airplane and then playing this game. But the video was so boring, right? And I saw this as well too. Okay, similar concept, good idea, just extremely bad execution. And then this one as well too. This guy actually went viral with this concept. That was kind of where I found the concept from.
To show me his newest purchase. It looked better in the dark, apparently. Why is he throwing everything? It literally has every game. If you can name one game that it don't have, we will gift you one for free.
So I had this crazy idea. I saw all these different concepts and I thought, hey, what if I do this concept that worked for him? Obviously, Some other guys did this. Mikey again was actually the one to invent this concept. So I thought, hey, why don't I do this and just combine all these different factors and do it on the airplane, which is what I did. That was my first viral video. That was that was the video that generated around 80K in sales, right? So yeah, that was kind of my thought process. Just to show you another example too. This guy, one of my Spanish competitors, did this concept in Spanish.
Más útil de mi vida adulta. Es una Game Boy que le mete a los esteroides. Están todas las consolas de mi juventud. Tiene buscador para que no tengas que scrollear entre los 40.000 juegos. Perfecta para desconectar después del trabajo. La compra más útil.
Okay, so as you can see, pretty basic stuff, just like tossing it up with his foot, like a cool visual hook, and then just talking about the console with like some cool music in the background. He was going viral over and over again with this concept, and none of my American competitors were doing this at all, and I had no idea why. So I tried it for the first time, and that went viral basically on the first try.
Most useful purchase of my adult life. It's like a Game Boy on steroids and has all the consoles from when I was a kid. It has a search feature so you don't have to scroll through all the 30,000 games. It's also small enough to fit in your pocket so you can play it on the go. Perfect for unwinding after work.
So very simple concept, but it worked, and this generated, I don't know, consistent 25K months for me for a few months. I mean, this video was going viral, for over like a 4-month period. So kind of just to summarize my content strategy with this console and what I did differently, I had a bird's eye perspective of all my competitors' content, and I saw what was working, what used to work, what's not working anymore, what else have they tried that looks very cool, but where the execution was really bad. And then I found these concepts and did them myself, made them better. They went viral. I made a lot of money. Suddenly I became the top dog, the top competitor where everybody was copying. And then just doing the same thing with competitors in different languages that none of my American competitors were copying. So yeah, that's kind of how I made this, multiple 6 figures with this product. And yeah.
That's crazy. And I think you accidentally just dropped a huge gem right there, which is basically for new people who start out with organic dropshipping, or whenever people hear like, oh, he's doing content creation, I'm not creative enough to do it, which is basically at the end of the day, it's a fucking lie. You don't need to be a fucking art genius who's got like the craziest creative ideas. Obviously, you shouldn't be stupid and don't see a good idea when you have it in front of your eyes. But same for me. I just look at different concepts with this bird's eye view, and I'm like, okay, this is a cool idea. This is a cool idea. And I put everything in a big pot, and I'm like, okay, let me cook something up. Which is the same for you, because so many people always think like, oh, I'm not creative enough. I don't have any creative ideas. If somebody tells me this, I'm like, okay, like now talking about organic dropshippers, I'm just like, okay, clearly when you do like, for example, your product burner research, you're literally just doom scrolling and not looking at the actual product at the actual content that other people with this product are doing. Because if you would actually consciously scroll on your accounts and try to understand the content every single time, all of the winning elements, and you're like, okay, this is a cool element, let me take this into my video, let me implement this, then it's actually, everything becomes so much easier about the entire content creation thing. This is why for me in the beginning, going viral was so hard, because I didn't understand that you just consciously have to understand what other people are doing good, and then just take different things and sum them up into a very good own original video concept.
Exactly. I mean, like the whole game of organic dropshipping is probably like 10% making your own ideas. It's actually 90% just taking inspiration from either your competitors of the same product, a video creator of a different product, or just some random creator on TikTok or Instagram that loves making creative videos. You just take inspiration from all these guys, and then suddenly you have an unlimited number of content ideas, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes you like a really good dropshipper. Like once you have that skill, and you have like a bunch of videos bookmarked of like different concepts that you want to try in the future. That's how you build this massive like creative database of like video ideas. I think that's why people like you and I, we're also very good coaches too, because we have this massive memory, we have this massive data bank of so many different ideas, so many different visual hooks, so many different captions and concepts that we can just send to our creators and say, hey, I remember this from a year ago, I have this bookmarked, try this. And then boom, all of a sudden they go viral, it works, and then you make a lot of money.
Exactly, every single time. So it's basically you have to live in this niche, in this bubble, but also at the same time, don't try to make this bubble completely different. Never reinvent the wheel is what kind of people told me in the beginning. And I was always like, yeah, okay, but I have to make my own original idea because that's like the old corporate thinking. I was like, okay, I need to be the next Elon Musk. I need to create electric cars in order to become rich. It's actually, no. For e-commerce, it's always like, don't reinvent the wheel. Just look what it's working. Look at your database and just see, okay, what are different components, different elements that I can just mix up to make something huge, which is then at the end of the day, your own original concept. But don't reinvent the wheel, never. Also, always for my own content creation, what I'm doing, like this huge database that you just talked about for hand movements, camera movements, visual hooks, storylines. If you tell me about visual hooks and you're telling me, okay, you need to split test the visual hook in your next video, I already have a tons of other ideas just by analyzing other people's content. I'm like, okay, I could do this different. And for each and every single just big topic, there's so many data in our head, which is basically allowing us to just have this endless data, mix it up to always not reinvent the wheel, but always go viral consistently, just by pulling up some data from here, like a mechanic who's just building up a viral video. This is also why I think you're so successful with your creators, because you have this database. You tell them, okay, look, this is the viral formula. I want you to do this here, add this, bam, video goes viral and you make money.
Exactly. And the awesome thing with that strategy, that formula, is that there's so many different components that you combine. You can just split test so many of these different elements, right? You can say, hey, try these things first, right? If that doesn't work, you just try putting this part there instead, right? And there's so many different ways to kind of break up your video and just split test every factor of the video to go viral. And also just one practical tip I have when it comes to like product research. A lot of people say, okay, now this is my time. I have 2 hours time slot right now just for product research. Like they just like turn on their product research brain and they just forget about like everything else, right?
Yeah.
They can see the craziest video concept, this amazing video that they could definitely apply for their own product, but think, hey, that wasn't a good product, let me scroll past. And they totally forget about this video concept. Like when you're looking for products, you should also be looking for video concepts, and just bookmark it, save it, understand why this went viral for this guy. Can I use this for my own videos in the future? So it's not just like turn off your brain, look for products, that's it. You should be consciously scrolling every single time you look for products, right? Look for video concepts too. And if you can do that, if you can really be conscious about that when you look for products, you're going to be a successful dropshipper 1000%.
Okay. So continuing on the funnel, you went viral. Now you have people on the website, they check out. Is there any, can we pull up your website as well and just have a look at the website? Is there like, how much is the product actually when for the retail? I think it's $100. So how did you get a average order value of 150? That's a crazy increase.
All right, let me pull up the store right now. So as you can see, this is the product page. It is in dirhams. Unfortunately, I can't figure out a way to show it in USD, but this is approximately $99 American dollars. And if you press the add to cart button, you'll see there are a lot of other products that they can get as well too. They can get a case. They can get these joystick caps that look cool for your console. They can get a screen protector, and they can get shipping protection, right? So all these things do actually get a lot of clicks, all these different items. So yeah, all that in combination with post-purchase upsells. And if you don't know what post-purchase upsells is, it's basically once a customer checks out and buys one console, I give them a follow-up offer in the thank you page, in the order confirmation page, saying, hey, thanks for ordering. If you want to get one more, we can give you a special post-purchase discount of an additional 20% if you want to get one for your friend as well, or if you want to get one for your mom or dad. And quite a lot of people take that option too. So I mean, all these different things and result in me having a way higher average order value.
I see, makes sense. So now people place the order on your store, which obviously is the nice Shopify catching sound, which you can never get used of. What's like the back office looking like with suppliers and everything, shipping orders? I'm sure nobody talks about this on their case studies, so we might as well take a few minutes to just cover the unhidden secrets that literally no one talks about. Do you have like a private agent in China? Do you fulfill every single day all of your orders manually? Do you negotiate prices? I'm sure when you had a 21K day, you were trying to talk to the suppliers and decrease the cogs a bit.
Yeah, so first of all, I do have a private agent. I don't fulfill my orders manually through AliExpress or any of these platforms. I have a WhatsApp group chat with my supplier in China and her boss, and they just do everything for me. I don't have to press any buttons. The only thing I have to press is pay invoice, and the money gets deducted from my bank account. That's pretty much the only thing I have to do. And yeah, I do negotiate prices with my suppliers. I was kind of a dumbass when I had my 21K day because I got all these orders. I had 45 to like 50K week, and I definitely had amazing like negotiating power. Like I could have negotiated prices down probably 30% during that day because a lot of suppliers out there would have wanted my business. So I had the power. I only realized this a few months afterwards when someone else told me, hey, like why haven't you negotiated your prices down with your supplier? So I missed out on a lot of money. I think 25K in profit from that week could have been 33K in profit. So I probably missed out on like an extra 8K profit because I did not negotiate prices. But yeah, I mean, after that, I definitely negotiated prices. My margins went from like on average 50% to like 62, 63%. Sometimes even higher based on the order value.
Crazy. So now talking about your Shopify store in particular, we talked about the content, we talked about the back office, basically everything. The only thing that we haven't talked about, which you did, is basically selling the store. How did that come into place?
Yeah, for sure. So I had a friend of mine who was working with a store selling broker, like an organic store selling broker. And my friend reached out to me and he said, hey, listen, you've done pretty well with your store. I'm sure we could sell your store for a lot of money if you want to get this off your hands. I said, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, let's just give it a shot. Let's see what happens. So yeah, no, I worked with my friend and this other broker, and we ended up selling the store for around 35K to 40K profit in total, which is a little bit low. I was hoping for around like 60K to 80K, maybe even 100K. But yeah, so I did end up selling the store for a decent amount of money. It's good profit straight into my account. So yeah, I mean that was kind of an annoying process too. Definitely took a long time. I had to prepare a bunch of documents, do a bunch of accounting for my store, which I'd never done before. So that was kind of a big mess.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I see. Okay, interesting. So you ran up a product with complete organic marketing. You made multi 6 figures with it. You made another multi 5 figures just by selling the store. Huge amounts profit margins, way more than 50%. And then you're starting kind of at zero again when you start off with your new product. So what was like the main learning for your main business learning as well as your main product learning? Because I know you ran up a big month right after. So what was your did you just do the product burner account, or what was your idea to find the other winning product that you have now?
Yeah, so I actually kind of switched my perspective a little bit. As an advanced dropshipper, you can pretty much just take products that other people have made a lot of money with, right? I mean, you can figure that out based on how viral they go. You can place a test order and see how much revenue they've done, or you can just look on case studies on YouTube and see if anyone's actually revealed their product. And that's actually what I did for my product afterwards. I just found a product online that I knew some guy had made a lot of money with, and I just ordered that, sent it to some of my creators. And yeah, we just followed, basically did what they did, made a lot of money as well too. First month with that new product, was around 45K in sales in total on the first month, right?
Holy moly, that is insane. And would you say you just follow the same structure as always, like making content is the money-making machine, just post as much content as possible, just post the best content? What's your approach towards that?
Yeah, so I definitely put a lot of emphasis on posting the best content possible. I always think that quality is way more important than quantity, but if you can combine both, then that's like the ultimate money printing sauce. Like if you can actually be extremely focused and just make amazing videos every single time and do like 2 or 3 of those every single day, maybe even more if you're posting on different countries, that's how you like print a lot of money. So that's kind of always been my approach. Never really just like pumping out videos without really thinking about the quality. I always try to make the videos better, more unique, slightly more original, better text caption, better audio choice, better hand movements, so forth.
100%. 1% improvement every single time from video to video is so important. What so many people just do, because I like to preach bulk editing, but people get it wrong. They be like, I'm gonna do 7 videos. All of the 7 videos will be trash. But if you increase from day to day, you ask in communities for feedback, and you can literally implement it the next day. That's what you want to do. Bulk editing only works out if you understand the viral formula and you can just force viral videos, which is the case for me. But if your content is trash, it doesn't make sense to just bulk edit trash videos. Like, you want to bulk edit 10 out of 10 high quality videos. And no, you are now in a very fortunate position. Like, I know you're not in the trenches of doing content anymore. You do have creators now, so I guess you can also teach other people to go viral. Is it actually as easy like that?
Yeah, so going from making all the content yourself to like teaching all the content, that doesn't take place overnight. You do have to practice like teaching the content for a while, which I did. I think some of you guys know I worked with Mikey again. I was one of his coaches for his creators, basically. So I did have a few months just practicing, like teaching people, and eventually I got really good at that. I feel like at this point I'm better at teaching people content than making the content myself. Even though I make great content, I think my main skill set now is just teaching and just like helping them, make their videos amazing. So yeah, now I'm basically just focused on doing that full time. I'm very fortunate. I don't have to make organic content myself anymore. I have a team of around 13 to 15 people doing all the content for me, and I just look over the videos. They make a lot of money. They make me more money. It's a win-win.
Interesting. I think that's also something nobody covers on their case studies or in general, just on YouTube videos, like how to transition from being in the trenches yourself to now just running calls with creators, and also like walk me through the transition, and then also talk about like how do you manage talking to 15 creators at the time. Like that sounds like fucking headache. You wake up and you just have calls, or how does it work?
Yeah, so just to answer your first question about the transition, it's the beginning phase of you doing this, like going from making all the content yourself to like making the content and then having calls with your creators afterwards, like after a long day of making content. That's a very tough period. That's a very difficult period. I mean, you're going to be tired, you're going to have a headache from making all the videos yourself, and then on top of that, you have to look through someone else's videos that are not going to be as good. You're going to be frustrated. They're going to have a lot of beginner questions. So the beginning phase is very difficult, right? You're probably going to have like a 1 month period of you just being extremely tired, extremely frustrated, and just kind of like almost losing hope on this whole like creator training thing. Eventually you get the hang of it, your creators start learning, and your teaching ability gets better, and then things just magically work out. It's really as simple as that. Sorry, what was your second question?
How do you manage your time with all of your creators, and how do you make it actually efficient talking to them? Because how do you ensure that all of them like kind of get successful? Is there like specific frameworks that you have, like have them take a note, send them notes to you, or what's that?
Yeah, so I found that the best system for me with my creators is to have 2 weekly calls with them every single week, right? So every single guy has 2 calls with me. I space them out over like, I have like a 3-day break in between the calls. So like, one guy, I have a call with him on Monday, and then the next call with him would be on Thursday, for example. And that's going to be for 20 minutes. I don't really recommend doing more or less than 20 minutes because, if you're giving them instructions and sauce for like 40 minutes to 1 hour, that's going to be way too much for them to really like understand everything and fully absorb everything. So I found that the sweet spot is just 20 minutes of just spitting sauce, like giving super detailed advice on their content or like the direction of their videos, and just doing that twice per week with all of my guys. So yeah, I do have a lot of calls. A lot of my work nowadays is just being on calls. And in terms of like having the creators really, learn the best, I like to have them kind of just at the end of my call with them, just have them repeat the most important things I've told them during the call, right? So if I had a call with you and I give you a lot of, tips about your hand movements, about your background, about your lighting, I would want you to repeat those important things after the call, like at the end of the call to me. I'm fully confident that you've listened and that you understand what I've told you.
I see. I see. What about the actual recruitment of the creators? Is there like, how do you get the creators working for you? Because it's like literally a free mentorship if you think about it from the student's perspective. I would be begging for some six-figure dropshipper to give me 2 calls a week, be available on WhatsApp 24/7 just to give me advice. Like the times have changed so much.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I would say I've gotten most of my creators through Discord, just like being in different Discord servers, me posting my results, them, sending me a DM. I open the DM, they say, hey, listen, I really want to learn from you. I need to make this work no matter what. Please just give me a shot. This is my content. This is what my videos look like. I'm sure with your help, we can make a lot of money together. That's kind of the perfect message I like to see when someone wants to work, with me as for me as a creator. So yeah, it's been mainly through Discord DMs and friends of friends, whatever. So yeah.
I see. What about like obviously the content creators that we are working with, they haven't made multi six figures and they are not in the same fortunate position that we are, but we're trying to get them up there. But also when I work with my creators, it's most of the times a very emotional roller coaster and I have to like kind of just motivate them and keep them going. Is there like some mindset that you kind of established for yourself which makes it because as soon as you make multi six figures, I don't know, your brain is unwired from the matrix shit and you just start actually thinking. So what's something that you kind of tell your creators whenever they, I don't know, they feel down, they don't want to do the content, or they're telling you like, bro, does this actually work?
Yeah. No, I think it's really important to not only be a mentor for content, but also be a mentor for motivation, right? I mean, you don't want to just make them into content demons, right? You want to make them, you kind of want to turn them into your personal Navy SEALs. At least that's my mentality. Like all my creators, I'm training them to become like emotionless or semi-emotionless Navy SEAls, right? I mean, they have to be like Navy SEAL dropshippers. That's my mindset. And I kind of just like put myself in their shoes because I've been in their shoes. I've been frustrated. I've been demotivated in the past. And I just, give them the right advice when it comes to mindset. I say, hey, listen, your mom, she's still working. Why? Why are you chilling when your mom is still working? And she has to work a job and she's paying her mortgage bills and she's suffering. Like why?
Yeah.
Explain to me. And pretty much as soon as I ask them that question, they're like, oh shit, you're right. What am I doing? And they get to work. And sometimes it takes a couple of calls, of me saying that, of me giving some other advice too, right? And eventually they just become absolute Navy SEALs.
You just said that you kind of see yourself in your creators. So what would you say when you compare yourself to the beginner dropshipping Alex? What's like the main difference that now differentiates a 0-figure dropshipper to a multi-6-figure dropshipper?
Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, there's so many things. The list would be massive. I think the main things, just to make the point shorter, obviously all the practical skills, all the content, all the filming, all the editing, all the background visualization, the hand movements. That of a 6-figure dropshipper, that level of skill within those criteria of a 6-figure dropshipper is just so far ahead of a 0-figure guy or like a 5-figure guy as well too. So that's probably the main thing. And also in terms of like mindset, in terms of like my discipline, my focus, I understand now that success with any product, with any business model is not overnight. Things take time. If you run up a new product, even though you're an experienced dropshipper, it takes time, okay? And there's absolutely no reason to be sad, to be depressed about, it taking a long time. Maybe your friends are making more money than you like right now. No reason to be sad, no reason to be depressed. That's just the nature of the game, okay? You have to eliminate your emotions from this business model as much as possible. Like if you're an expert at just removing emotion and literally just thinking like a Navy SEAL, you're like an organic Navy SEAL, then you're gonna be a lot more successful in my experience. So I would say like practical skills and then mindset.
I see. And now the question the other way around. What do you think, what skills do you need to get to the 7-figure Alex that your 6-figure Alex doesn't have right now? So what are like the plans for the future?
That is a great question. I think the main thing right now, what 7-figure Alex or even 8-figure Alex would tell me right now, is that I have to get way better at putting systems in place where much of the daily operations in the trenches, but like I have to become way more of an expert, have way more overview of all the different systems I have in place, and just become so much better at like optimizing everything. And like also just figuring out who can I hire to manage these different systems and these different income streams, right? So, just to be more specific, like, I have to be an expert at managing my Facebook ads. I have to be an expert at managing my organic stores. I need to have someone to do my conversion rate optimization, CRO, for my websites. I need to have someone with media buying, for Facebook ads. I need to have someone for TikTok shop. I need to have someone to manage all my supplier, communication. So kind of just like being better at optimizing those things and not being so random, myself in doing those things. I would say that's probably the main advice that I would give to myself in the future.
Beautiful. I think with that being said, that was actually a very, 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 very saucy call. So, is there anything you want to finally wrap up? Maybe give the viewers some motivational final last words. Otherwise, I appreciate your time and sharing this sauce and also the insights on your Shopify dashboard. That is not typical to do. And I believe with this entire, this was almost 60 minutes of pure sauce. That is insane.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess just one last thing to say is that, listen, this is not a get rich quick scheme. Okay, nothing is. This is not crypto. You can't just get lucky on day one or week one. Okay, if that was the case, everybody would do it and it wouldn't be possible anymore. You have to learn the skill. Okay, and learning the skill can take a week, can take a month, can take 3 months, depending on your work ethic, depending on how much you put into it every single day, your attitude towards it, how structured you are with your time, and just how much you want it. Okay, so it's not a get rich quick scheme, but you can learn the skill quickly if you want to and make money faster than a lot of other people would. Okay, so just always have that in mind when you're starting this business or any other business. Doesn't matter if it's e-commerce or day trading or whatever. Okay, just learn the skill and be patient about it and just learn aggressively. Be really aggressive with your learning and be really aggressive with your implementation of your learning.
Okay guys, thank you for watching. If you think there was a lot of sauce, then you only saw the tip of the iceberg. We have probably 20 hours more of course footage and just recorded calls where we have these exact calls going in depth on literally everything and anything that no one else in this entire organic space is talking about. Not only organic, we talk about Dubai, we talk about products, mindset, literally the entire business. How do you get better as an entrepreneur? So if you want to level up your business as well, your mindset, whatever it might be, then make sure to check out the link in the description down below and be part of the VIP in Six Figure Demons.